Tape Never Lies Network. Starts now.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
Yeah, you look at the tape. So as a coach, your resume is the tape.
Loses the football. Strip sack and
Bears our live. Bears our live. We go online right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Bears our live.
Son of a bitch, you better block.
Bears our live. We go online right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Ran up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show. Bear fans get nothing less. Locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil to bring that range in with facts my shade. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened to be clear. That's why we're on TV so you can see it, not just hear. Hey yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. True to fundamentals, never gimmicks and tricks. Guess we're moving Soldier Field up to Arlington Heights. Mill out counting bucks while the mayor big fight. As our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion on what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame show, expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, a loss they can survive.
but don't you worry.
Bears Our Live.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go
Let him sit his ass there again. I don't think we're that much worse.
The myth, the red legend, Dr. Phil Ototion.
This is football, baby. Culture is the problem. Let's get on little things. Bears our life. Bears our
Son of a bitch, you better
life.
block.
Our life.
That's what happens. That's when we have a real
Right
good team.
after Bears
And let's get it
with
on.
your boys draft talk and the smartest.
Give me some fucking names.
This is Bears Hour Live.
And if you want a name, be mad at Ryan Poles. That's where it all starts, ladies and gentlemen. This is the guy that we need to start talking about now. He made the decision himself. This is his guy, Matt Eberflus. What we saw today, just when you think it can't get any worse. I mean, the last two plays, it's the, being up by 12 and putting, leaving Derrick Rose in the game. That's what that looked like. And it's a horrific capper to a shitty day that we've essentially become numb to as Chicago Bears followers and fans and analysts. It is what it is. But I sent out a tweet about 20 minutes ago saying, Ryan Poles, if you don't see it, this is all on you. All on you. You're the general manager. This is your guy who you've hitched your wagon to. You think your quarterback believes in this guy? You think your players believe in this guy? You can be a nice guy. You can be. Doesn't mean shit. There's no proof out there other than you just being a nice guy and some of the players respecting you. It's fine. We went through it with Dick Duran, with Lovie Smith, with everybody that's been here. There was players that respected them. And it is what it is. I know you guys are here to listen to DDP. This will probably be a scaled down version of BHL tonight. So let me bring out my guy, Phil. Not much needs to be said.
I think Shane stole my thunder. I think, when you listen to our shows and the program and you do the work that we've done, it's debilitating to a level. It's just like a gut punch when you know there's a fraud in the room. I don't know how many of you have been doing all the hard work and caring and loving and pushing it through. There's one thing to be outmatched there, and be having to overcome. And there's a whole other thing of negligence when you don't see the big picture and the problem in the room, the fraud in the room. So Shane is 150,000% correct. You can't keep the guy that can't get it done. You could just tell when someone's not a good football coach. Coaches know. But Ryan Poles continuously keeping this as if it's going to change with the new quarterback. Oh, by the way, we've done this merry-go-round many times, and I don't care. At some point, you got to get it right. And at some point, you can't be the same old shitty, soft-ass corporate bears. I'm going to say that again. You can't be the same old soft-ass, shitty corporate bears. The corporate decisions have to go. A meeting with the higher ups involves what higher ups? Just like the benching of Tyreek Stevenson didn't help the locker room. Nothing is helping the locker room. The stench is Eberflus. Eberflus's diaper is dirty as fuck. It stinks. Every parent in the room at the daycare knows it needs to be changed, except Ryan Poles, the father. Negligence. Keeping this clown who continues to do clown things. It starts there. Then you talk about Eberflus's 0-17, now 0-18 on the road. How many quarterbacks has he beaten on the? What are these quarterbacks' names? Sam Howell. Guys, it's a fucking disgrace. It's a disgrace. They're not coached well. They're not. You thought the Hail Mary was bad? How about the fucking gash touchdown with 20-something seconds to go in the game against Arizona? How about that? How about Shane Waldron's play calling and continuing to support that? How about being arrogant assholes that continue to support decisions that were failures? I do it again. No. How about coming out 3 days before the next game and owning the loss last week because the corporate bears told you to do it? That's a problem. I can't support this team. Can't come there. Can't support this. Give your hard-earned money away to this shit? You fucking kidding me? It's disgrace beyond disgrace. Situational football escapes them. A corporation that is defunct because they can't handle big personalities controlling the locker room, controlling situational football. Well, that's what you need because you're a young rookie. And I don't know anything about Derrick Rose is getting hurt, whatever Shane's talking about. But I know the game is out of reach, and having your franchise future quarterback out here with this negligence is like leaving your child with other children unparented. It's just leaving them there. No one's going to do that. But assholes out there would. A lot of baby talk tonight, Shane, because the baby is the Bears for not getting rid of this guy, not understanding this guy for what he is and how bad he is. His interview coming out of the half might be the biggest showcase of Loserville I've ever seen. It's embarrassing, guys. It's a level of embarrassment that Matt Nagy can't even take over. It's Mark Trestman level embarrassment in coaching. It is so bad that you just got beat by a 4-4 team got your ass served, got your face drug in the mud, and then, oh, by the way, hold my beer, I'm going to get our quarterback hurt because I know I suck as a coach. That's what just happened out there. Players giving up, no effort. DJ Moore don't care. Keenan don't care. You could see this thing spiraling, and they're going to try to corporate this shit up, make backdoor decisions. And that's the kind of fucking program, that's the kind of football integrity that you do not want. The cover your ass kind. Sorry, Brian Poles. You're so completely lost here that the Bears have to do something that they've never done before, and they have to fire the head coach and rid themselves of this unprepared, completely out of sync offensive coordinator, and they have to do something different. It's it. You can't be the same old Bear. The McCaskies do this. I'm sorry, Adam Abdallah. Shut the fuck up and sit down. They gotta do something different. You can't keep saying this. Well, it's the McCaskies. They have to. Do not support this shit anymore. It's an embarrassment. Football-wise, everything. Offensive line, all the way down. All of it. All of it stinks. All of it. Do something. You can't just sit there, Shane.
No, man, I hear you. It's bad all the way around, Phil, and it's not just Ryan Poles. I mean, that's the the big picture, the big picture looking at it. But it's Caleb didn't play good today. DJ Moore, there's a disconnect there. You can see it. Shane Waldron and the play call. How does
run the ball, Shane?
How does Cole Kmet not get a target?
0 targets.
He had probably one of his best games as a pro. Maybe they look at him as a full-time long snapper now. I'm not sure, but there's nobody free from the stink from this game, Phil. That's players, coaching staff, and front office included. And
I'm sorry, Shane. It starts with the fucking.
Oh, I understand. I understand where
you're putting your quarterback in the possible worst situation that you possibly can. I'm not fucking making excuses up. I'm just pulling back the layers, and it's terrible play calling. Who throws the ball? They're inside the 11-yard line. They throw 3 balls.
Yeah, they had first and 10 from the 11. They ran 3 straight times, or they passed 3 straight times, 3 straight fades.
I'm so done. I can't support this bullshit coach in this organization. It's so bad. There's no account. It's all pretend accountability. Situational football, they suck. Down in distance, they don't have a clue. Personnel matchups. Fucking dropped ball. Keenan Allen, like you said at the halftime show. You're here to make the catch on 3rd and 8. It's right in your fucking hands. Gotta make it. This is the NFL. Mercedes Lewis, why is he here? On a safety, drops the ball right in his fucking hands. Larry Borum? Oh my God.
Awful.
You wait till you see the tape. He doesn't know a simple fucking slide protection. It's freaking atrocious out there. The offensive line coach should be fired 2 years ago. You arranged a marriage with a shitty OC and a shitty O-line coach as if anybody wants Chris Morgan. No one does. The word is out. Not a good coach. But the Bears talk about this guy. He's your run game coordinator. You know who that is? Let me pick out anyone. Martell N. I just like the name Martell. You know what that is? That's a guy that doesn't know how to run call, who's completely terrible coach, chiming in on the offensive coordinator. No, he doesn't have any say on the play call. He's in the week. These are the good run plays against the Cardinals. And they don't do it. It's a disgrace, guys. It's a used car salesman. Worse than Matt Nagy. Worse than Matt Nagy. You're so poorly coached that the quarterback, and some people had this narrative, you don't skip over this kind of talent at quarterback because this guy's running the show. It should have been Ryan Poles saying, this guy can't do it. Neither are the scrap heap of offensive coordinators. Oh, by the way, we're afraid of the offensive coordinator that could possibly take my job. This is true.
Here's a great quote, Phil. I'm sure you're gonna love. This is from former Chicago Bears head coach Dave Wannstedt in the Bears postgame. I'm sick for Matt Eberflus. He's trying to do things the right way, and the guys just have not responded.
Dave, please. He needs to be sitting next to you doing the shitty post-game show called the Shit Coaches Academy. Just like you were. Get Dante Jones on here. What are you fucking doing? You're pathetic, Wannstedt. Pathetic. Given that asshole.
The fact that we have to acknowledge Dave Wannstedt still in the city pisses me off with the shit job that he did with the Chicago Bears. I get everybody likes him, but that's the same bullshit that the Chicago Bears have been dealing with and hiring for the longest. A nice guy off the field. You'll learn to love him. You'll want to have a beer. You'll want to go to church with him. But he can't coach fucking football, period. And that's what we have right now with Matt Eberflus.
What did you say coming out of that hat? How did you let up that touchdown? His answer. Can I get a quote on his answer, Ivan, again? I told him we're in this together.
He said there's a score and then there's us. And we got to go out there and just the same fucking rah-rah bullshit that doesn't fucking do anything for grown men who have been, they obviously are affected from last week and the bullshit that you spewed out on camera. They obviously know you're full of fucking shit. And it's evident right now with their play. Goddamn. And you know what? Caleb was inaccurate, but you know what? Half the fucking time, he was running like a
He's running for his fucking life, guy. Oh my God.
There's no excuse for any of it, Phil. I'm done making, there's nothing that could fucking deter me from the one thing that makes the Bears better, and that's firing this head coach right now. To me, the locker room is not responding for a fucking reason. Make sure if the Bears had any balls, if Kevin Warren was worth his fucking nut, he would go in there tonight and fucking make sure that there's change. And it starts with Matt Eberflus.
He's the worst head coach. He is completely aloof. And as Boz Players is talking, I mean, it says it all. You have 0 road wins in 3 seasons. That offensive line today was a shit show of complete. I mean, the injuries to the offensive line are going to be an excuse given. But you come in here and a guy that's been out on injured reserve, Larry Borum, and he goes out there and plays. Then you got Dominique Robinson, who's been completely benched the last few weeks, and he's starting for you because Montez Sweat's out. Meanwhile, you got this kid number 55 playing in the game, getting held last week, giving you a pass rush. I think he got another sack. He got another sack today. He's not start. It goes all over the place. But the reality is Caleb's got to get better, but you can't get better in chaos that's negligent. And when I say that is you're putting him in the worst position at the end of the game is a showcase of the kind of coach you are. With 6 minutes to go in the game, your backup quarterback goes in the game. There is no shot for you to win. You get the backup in the game. You give him some freaking reps, and you try to do something good for your football team, and you protect the future of your franchise. But this guy did the ultimate coaching sin. Not only is he a fraud and a sham with a fucking corporate-run football team because they're afraid of people like Bruce Arians and Mike Vrabel and Rex Ryan and any kind of person that's going to fucking hold players accountable for real. Like, for real. They're afraid of Shane and Phil. They won't come on here because we're going to hold you accountable. And this is the continuous process of it. Who knows? Caleb could be out next week because you're playing fucking Russian.
It wouldn't surprise me, Phil. He was hurt the second to last play, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then, like you said, go right back out there, and then he's grabbing his leg. But Josh has a question here. Can y'all explain why firing a coach midseason is a good thing? It's never a good thing for your franchise unless the guy has completely lost the team, and that's where you're at.
Do you understand, Josh?
You see a lack of fundamentals. You see a lack of just fundamental football.
You're out-coached each and every week, and the players aren't responding to you, and you're unprepared, and you completely piss down your leg.
You
and
go out, right?
Lose games that are in 90 percentile of winning is a showcase.
90 plus, Phil. There was a 96 in there.
No, I'm saying 90 percentile. Yeah. That's covering all of the 90s, I thought. But that's why. And then you get another person to lead the locker room that can buy into it. You've seen it many times before because you're just doing the inevitable. Wannstedt is clueless. Feeling sorry for Eberflus? He's pathetically made this happen.
Well, right, and just you saw the way that he handled this past week. And then Shane Waldron comes. I mean, Flus, until the very, what was it, Wednesday, he finally came out and said, Thursday. This is on me.
Thursday.
And then Shane Waldron came out and doubled down. Said, if I had to do that play call again, I would do it because we've repped it. Come on. It's just a classic showcase of cover your own ass and put it in. I understand you have to hold the players accountable. The players have to be better, but there is a disconnect there. Clearly, there's clearly a disconnect, and you can't. It's not just this year, guys. You got to look back to Alan Williams was the defensive coordinator that was removed from Hallis Hall. Don't forget that. And our running back coach was removed from Hallis Hall. Who hired those guys? Matt Eberflus. You thought maybe it was fixed? It's all of these things build up. And Ryan Poles, from what Phil and I were told, Kevin Warren did not want Matt Eberflus retained. But he gave Ryan Poles enough rope because Ryan Poles pounded the table for him. He's my guy. We got to bring him back. So Kevin Warren went out of his way, what we were told, to let him have his guy. And we see the way that it's playing out. And it's obviously not good. Tell me the positives.
He's going to give you the positives.
Eberflus. Yeah.
He's going to say this as thank you, Elmer. I told them we have each other. And then he said, that's what you could do. We come out here, and then he goes, what did he say? And I call the pass defense, and that's on me. And I got to be better than that. Well, coach, you're the fucking head coach of the Bears. You're a travesty walking. Got to be better than that. You don't make those fucking mistakes. Your linebackers are off the ball. Their trap game, this dude knows your defense. The trap game is killing you. because you don't have Montez Sweat and you don't have a fucking clue. Your linebackers are sitting back 6 yards, getting murdered in trap games. So you just sit there and just die? No, you start blitzing. You see the guard pull, you fire the gap. They don't do shit. They're not coached. Any fucking coach, this coast to the West Coast, that's worth a damn, looks at the Bears and laughs. I can name 100 people more qualified than Matt Eberflus.
How about one?
To be the head coach.
How about one, Phil? How about one? The guy across from him, the guy that was working under him in Indianapolis as a DB coach, his pupil. He said that Eberflus made him a better head coach, but what he showed out there is he's a far better head coach, a more prepared head coach. What the Cardinals did to the Bears defense, a defense that Matt Eberflus runs, a defense that Matt Eberflus calls, he showed them fucking up and ran down their motherfucking throat. That was an embarrassment. That was a student outgrowing his teacher right there, what we saw. And if Matt Eberflus is still the head coach moving forward, you're going to continue to see more and more head coaches, young and old, out-coach him because he's not a good football coach.
And listen, when you have an offensive line that's beat up, I will challenge any football coach. I'm not talking about fans, because you fucking honestly are looking at fantasy football and shit. And it's not a shot at you. It's just the reality. But what do? You put in 2 tight ends and you start running the fucking football. And that's didn't happen. Then you could boot off of that. You are a travesty. You don't help. Last week, Karan Amagaji goes in. You don't even have a chipping tight end last week. Yeah, it matters. It matters. There's too much. And the last person I'm worrying about is the quarterback. Because I'm telling you, you can't function in this stupidity that you're in. You just can't. You got to run the ball and help them. You can't do that shit. We're on the 11-yard line. We're throwing 3 balls, fade balls in the end zones. We're not getting the calls today. Charles Davis is telling it. They're letting them play out there. Letting them play. The fucking leverage call, terrible. What is he? The guy's acting like a center at guard. What is he supposed to do? He's jumping up in the air. He's got his hand to protect his privates. Was he going to just jump in the air, let him nail him in the balls? Fuck are we doing here? I would have been on the field and got thrown out just for that call and lost my mind. There's a point swing. You honestly, it all goes back to sitting there in the offseason, knowing you got the first overall pick, us knowing it's Caleb Williams. We were right about that. I'm never going to change. And knowing that you got to get rid of fucking Eberflus and hire Harbaugh. The Bears are afraid of Harbaugh. The best coach in football won the national championship, and you don't even talk to him. So if you think that that's okay, then you and your shitty 8 captains could go fuck yourself. Ryan Poles. It's the truth. You're not trying to be better. You're trying to be corporate. And all these fucks will go to the game and they'll pay and they'll suck us in. Because you got this amazing talent, you got some good receivers, and you got some players here. The fact that you're showing up like that, completely overmatched, overwhelmed with coaching, it's not going to get better until you get a fucking real coach and a real personnel. Guess what? Good coaches have big personalities, Ivan. The best ones do. We could go down the list. I want to find one fucking coach that's a yes man that's good. Give me one that's really good. Even fucking Bill Belichick's dumb mumbling ass has a huge personality and ego. He fucking studies and dissects you and is going to find your fucking weakness and attack it. And guess what? He ain't fucking going 8 yards on 2 tight ends and the next play going into pistol. He's not doing it. But the Bears do it. They got Nagy, they had Trestman, and now they add this piece of garbage. Again, Waldron and fucking Eberflus. And we got to watch this shit. When you can just watch any college coach is better. The dude at Indiana will be coaching the Bears next year. That's what you're going to see. He'll be coming over here in Chicago. That's what you'll get. Whether you like that, he has a big personality. He's confident. He wants to win. Does Matt Eberflus really smell or reek confidence and is going to lead you to win? He's got the big coach, the best coaches take the onus on them. They don't come out in a loss of epic proportions every time and list positives. They don't fucking wait till Thursday to take the blame.
I'll let you take this one, Phil.
Fabio. That's it. Just end with Fabio. Go watch soccer. There you go, on the pitch, or whatever the fuck you call it. That's it. I don't need to. Coaches coach, but players have to. Yeah, they have to make plays. But your job as a coach is to put them in the right place to make plays. If you think you saw that today, Fabio, please pull up the tape and show me how the coaches helped this offense today. You know what would have helped? 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Toss right that you love to run, or toss left. Gashed down to the 2-yard line. Now you're at 2nd and goal, Fabio. And you fake the toss. And the tight end blocks down and sneaks out into the flat. The other tight end drags across the back. The other receiver on the far side, on the boot side, presses like he's going to run the slant, comes back to the flat. Caleb comes. Oh, it's a touchdown, Fabio. I just called it. Go play your beautiful game. That's what the difference is in coaching. You put your fucking players in positions, Fabio. You put your defense in a position. They're fucking gashing you, and you had no answer. They're running Phil's offense. Counter left. We're going to trap the defensive tackle, pull our guard, get up onto the backer, and slip it right through there. Because they still have an understanding of how to attack Mr. Matt Eberflus. I almost said Nagy.
It's the same guy. Same guy.
Yeah, I sent you that picture. You could put it up.
Yeah, I'll get it right now.
Put it up.
We are
Football,
still,
Fabio. You got to learn.
We are still waiting for the coach.
Coach is fucking probably listing off the pot. There could be a fight in the locker room. There is no shot. Tell Cap. Send this clip to Cap. Cap, there's no shot. And Shay, what's his name? My boy Shay
Norling.
Shay Norling. No shot that the players are listening to the head coach. They quit on the head coach. If you're a football player, you've played the game. I don't care. On any level, high school and up. Tell me that those guys did not quit on the coach today.
I don't think that motherfucker's going to show up tomorrow for Cap and J Hood. I think he's going to puss. I thought he was going to puss out last week, and he ended up showing up a little bit late, like a couple minutes. But then this week, how are you going to respond? Like, Cap and Hoodie are not going to fucking sugarcoat shit. You lost.
They hold the.
This
Cap
is an
embarrassing
loss, bro.
Here we go. Here he is.
Here he is. Let's hear the positives quick.
We'll see where it is going forward, and then Darnell with the knee, and then Jalen Jones had the shoulder. And I know questions will be about Caleb. I did see him. He limped off of there a little bit. He came in, looks to be fine. We'll check him in the morning. You never know how those things go going forward.
Oh my God. You kept him out there, you jackass.
In the
That's
game,
the showcase.
obviously very disappointed
Fabio.
in the game.
This guy's Fabio.
Started off, we had 6 to 7 there, and we had that penalty, the leverage penalty. And again, I was talking to the officials about it. Exactly what that was, and in terms of, I know what the penalty was, but in terms of what happened out there, so I'll get some clarifications on that. But that was obviously
so hard.
How about your coaching?
The score.
How about your game plan
on the end of the half? And to me, that's on me. I call it a pass.
Oh,
defense,
now he's gonna
pass pressure.
I call the pass pressure.
End up running the ball, and again,
because you're dumb.
That's on me.
Call there. That's on me. So
because you're absolutely you're dumb.
Where was that last week, Coach?
Needs to shore up. And again, when you have a big run like that, obviously the numbers go up. But again, we know how to do it. We've done it in the past.
This guy is so fucking
it's
completely dumb.
Make sure we do a better job. Coaches, starting with the coaches and then the players after that.
Starting with the coaches.
So we end up at 21 to 9.
It's like
at the halftime.
It's not about execution
He's
anymore.
reading from a fucking note card that the coaches shit. There's no authenticity. Look at him.
It's not about execution anymore.
We went for it on 4th and 10 from the 44. At the start of that fourth quarter, we were down 15. So, that's a choice there. Again, we took a big sack on that one, so that put them in a minus. On their side of the 50 there. They kicked the field goal after that. Had the safety on the backed up. So that right there, I thought that was a good call by the officials. The guy was engaged, and we did cut there. So I thought that was a good call there. And again, overall, it's just not good enough. Not good enough by the players and coaches, by the staff. Everybody's involved. That's what I said to the guys in there.
I'll have to look back at that because I didn't like the safety call.
Plays, and we didn't do a good enough job of that today.
If you're engaged, you can't hit him low.
Take an inward look, everybody.
Was he in the stomach?
And
so I think it's a bad call.
Guys will be in the building here before noon and start the next week. We got to find some good answers for putting our guys in position, and we got to do a great job of executing.
This guy never has an answer.
Right now,
never
a halfway point through.
Solemn. His tone is who he is.
And to me, it's
him and his wife.
His first victory and being 1-0 this week.
Hard knocks.
You mentioned your accountability for the call. At the end of the half.
Here we go.
What is your accountability for the offense? What do you need to do to get this offense on track when it seems like Caleb's development is stalling? And
Jason, I can't fire myself.
Yeah, full responsibility.
Yeah, there you go.
So we'll work with the offensive staff tomorrow morning as we watch this tape tonight and find answers.
He looks like all the color is out of his face, man. It's like
making sure you do that. And
dead man walking.
He just doesn't. Sure we have good actions off of that.
He doesn't
to start on first and
understand.
Down. And then when we get
the importance,
we got to make sure we got
being
six,
a head coach.
Sacks 6 times today, and the pressure was there. We got to make sure we're good. With
just doesn't
those things and making
wreak confidence, anger.
Quarterback,
he's overwhelmed.
And when you protect
that's
him,
why he comes with notes.
Ball on the field and do a good job there.
Was it ankle or knee for him?
It wasn't reported. I saw he tweaked his ankle, so that was what I saw.
Why was he still in the game at the end?
Yeah, we're just getting work and getting time
and work,
and getting time
and work.
2 minute.
You forgot the ED there.
That's what we were doing.
Work.
The defense was out there too.
This guy is a dick, man. I just. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, much of what I just said. We got to circle the wagons. We got to do a really good job of staying tight. That's what you do in times of adversity.
What is that fucking bird that stuffs its head in the ground?
There and the staff members in there.
Whole body's exposed. There. That's what this motherfucker is.
Making sure we're doing things the right way.
He's an ostrich.
Starts with the coaches first, and then
he says nothing.
We got a lot of things to
go back to your notes, Coach.
Where we get on the practice field,
we got each other.
It's important that we do that.
How do you measure the buy-in?
Hit the bricks, Coach.
The what?
Buy-in.
Yeah, I know.
We had a great practice on Friday,
guys,
right?
Really well.
That's coming up.
And we built those relationships over time, and my buy-in's all in. And I know there's.
Don't worry, you'll be coaching in Arizona next year. Fuck, you should be done today. This guy's a fucking nightmare walking, psychopath talking.
Games to play, and it starts with next week.
Degree of difficulty gets much higher though in terms of opponents, definitively pretty soon. What tells you that based on being 4-4 at this point, you guys are ready for that?
Oh, we're
Just
not.
the confidence in the players.
It's pure hope.
In the talent we have.
I'm pure lost. I'm completely lost as a head coach. They don't buy into
sometimes
you.
don't get the results you want.
You don't get any results in critical games or must wins.
That to me, and sometimes it's
guys play their best for coaches they love. Nobody played for you.
And then you work to the next one.
You got gashed because of your calls. Who's the defensive coordinator? You or Washington?
Game. Did you have issue on Wednesday during the walkthrough when he went in and took some time?
Yeah, it's like I've said before, we've made decisions.
Listen,
for Tyreek during that time.
The media made that decision for you, Coach. Let's be honest. You're not tough. There's no accountability.
Friday, had a really good week of practice. He played well today. Had a good pass break. Had some nice tackles. So he put his best foot forward, and his teammates and his coaches and all of us in that circle got his back. And yeah, that's where it is.
Do they have yours?
They don't. No one has yours. Exactly.
Yeah, we worked them out.
We got the score, and we got each other.
We got each other. We let up a huge score in an embarrassing way.
See where that is this week.
I continue to suck as a head coach.
From a Washington player.
That's on me.
Is that all it is, or is there more to it than just a laceration?
No. Yeah, I don't know if it's more to that. That's what it is.
Could have been 5-2 today coming into this game. You're not.
Defensive end, your ankle has to have flexion in it.
Wouldn't do anything different. Wouldn't call a timeout last week to gather everyone up and coach it up. Now we're gonna continue to fucking piss down our legs.
Besides the call, obviously, you're not expecting to give up 53 in a situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pressure. It was 3rd and 5. They were at the 44.
Chris R. So effing sick of this pathetic good old boys network of coaches. The NFC North is licking their chops at the shitty team. Fire everyone. Keep up the good work, TTNL.
So there's 2 safeties.
Let's knocking out these super chats while we listen to this super chat.
Corners and 2 safeties that can keep the cup.
Chat ass.
And we just have to do a good job there. But again, I could have called a better call for sure.
199 deja vu. It's ridiculous. Yes, you heard the media guy say one more.
Yeah, he was engaged. I think Tevin was engaged with the block with the rusher.
One more.
And I think Swift.
I'll have to look at it again. I thought Tevin pushed him. I didn't think they were engaged.
What I saw from the replay,
that's what the chat was saying, Shane.
Upstairs, that it was a legit call.
Man, what can you guys do to put Caleb in better position? Because obviously a game like this is just
fire Puss Floose right now. He is a disease, says Pontuvius Sweezy. $1.99.
3 weeks ago we were doing this, right? And it was looking good, right? And then now we got to find answers. And that's why I always say this league is week to week. So we got to find answers to put our players in position.
Well, if you always say that, you come out to the podium and say, you know what, guys? This league's week to week.
The answer was
saying we have to look inward.
The down before the Hail Mary. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's the same thing as keeping the quarterback out in the game today. That's the same stupidity.
But Phil, and I know it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I know Ivan knows what I was talking about, but it's when the Bulls were in the playoffs, they were up by like 12 with a minute and something left, and they left Derrick Rose, and he ended up tearing his ACL, and it provided the downfall of his career. After that, him being on the floor in meaningless time. Yes, it was a playoff game, but the game was settled. Just like today, I think I texted maybe you and Ivan, or maybe it was Cars and Ryan. I'm like, yeah, you gotta pull Caleb out here at this point. And this was well before that last series.
Yeah, I think with 6 minminutes.
Yeah, right. At that
pull
point,
him out.
Get him out.
I was
Your team. You could see the team quit.
Right.
I had a text from 2 former players and a fan, all almost simultaneously before the 6:39 when they got the ball back or whatever. All of them are like, "This team is quit. I can't watch this shit. They've quit on their coach. It's very easy." Sorry, Ivan. Jacob Schroba, $4.99. I really don't know how much more I can take. The only thing I know is pain as a Bears fan. Bro, you gotta stop being the corporate Bears. That's the only way.
Listen to this, Phil. So according to Ryan Cox just shared this. So according to Next Gen Stats, 16 different Cardinals got a pressure against the Bears this Sunday. That is the most individual players to get a pressure for a defense since 2018. The Cardinals walked into this game with a 26.6% pressure rate and pressured Caleb on 46% of his dropbacks.
Your offense sucks.
Yeah. And your ability to communicate sucks. So now you got a guy who's coming off of whatever IR term we're going to use for Larry Borum. You have to have a plan for this. You're going to have to sell out and be in a lot of personnel packages with tight end help. It's the same fucking thing over and over with these coaches. It's just sad. It's just sad. It's the reason talking about last week, they didn't want to use a timeout to get them straight, but here down whatever, they're using 3 timeouts to help them get the ball back. That's when I'm like, okay, play someone else. Gerald Smith, $4.99. It all starts with SEMO, but GMAC paired with them too. Trace Armstrong. Flus is not his boy. It's his partner from GMAC. Here's Caleb.
Your ankle. Did you tweak it on was it the second to last play on the way?
Yeah. I landed wrong and just kind of tweaked it. And in the last play, the dude grabbed my ankle and gator rolled and tried to get off of it because when you stay on it, that's when bad stuff starts to happen and breaks and all of that. So tried to just let my body go so I could fall and roll with them. Yeah.
Do you sense you're okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yep.
I feel like maybe you shouldn't have been in the game at that point.
He's never going to admit
decision.
that.
You fight to the end of the
It's
game.
not my decision.
Not my decision.
If not, coach makes a decision like that. You have to deal with it. And
your quarterback knows who makes.
He's not Anthony Richardson taking himself out of the game. I'll tell you that.
Based on everything you've said since you've been a Bear and your own competitive drive, I'm sure that you expected to be playing better by this point. How do you reconcile
Mo talking about the D line being trashed today?
Yeah, obviously, expectations of myself are always going to be high. They're still high. We still have 9 games, and so or something like that. It's going to keep being high. Every game that we go into, we just got to figure out, what's the next step. Got to figure out, how to get the win this next week. This game's over. Can't change this game. But we definitely can change the future.
There's a sequence where I think it was in the fourth quarter.
Definitely change the future might be a
third down, fourth down.
Hold on.
Nuke shot.
What's your self?
Team is a reflection of the head coach.
Get up,
Larry
keep going,
Chisholm,
find a way
Lawrence.
to go win this game.
As a leader of this team, did you think you'd bounce back from a hectic week better than you guys did?
Do you
think you bounced back?
Of
from a
course they
hectic
thought
week
that,
last
Pat.
week?
My
and
God.
play better
What a
today
dumb
just
question.
as a team.
I think early on in the week, I think we could have done better overall. Of bouncing.
There was reports saying they had the best fucking week of practice
On
out
Friday. On Friday, they said it
who
was
you
Flu said it was
okay.
an
Okay.
amazing
You're out there
practice.
making plays.
Okay,
if
then
you're,
I'm wrong.
making decisions up top. Being better at that, understanding that, we have many more games left after that. Been able to, be one, be a family, and move on from that, and have the right leaders, and which we do. We have the right guys to do, things like that, which is bounce back from something like that. And we got to do it this week.
It'd be better. You just mean move on quicker.
Yeah, we gotta be better and move on quicker. We gotta, have that 24-hour period, and from there move on.
Matt was in here before you, and he was talking about needing to find answers for how to put you in better positions, how to better facilitate your growth. What do you need from Matt and Shane that would help you going forward?
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
An offensive line.
We got to keep growing, keep communicating. I think for myself, I want to be better. I want to be able to help this team win. I want to be able to help Chicago Bears reach their goals at the end of the season that we all have, that I've had, that I'm going to keep having. And so, I think we all got to do a better job putting ourselves in position.
Caleb, what's your initial sense for why the offense just couldn't get on flow today?
Yeah, I think it starts from negative plays. You want to. I keep talking about it, and we keep talking about it. We want to start fast, get that momentum going, so that we can figure out, and ways to maintain it. And we would have negative plays or and that's including myself. That's including all the guys. Nothing that goes on that field that happens that I'm not a part of and can be better at in some way, whether it's throughout the week, whether it's on game day and communicating or whatever case may be. So I think it starts with negative plays, penalties, and then from there, after you get really good at those things and not having those things happen, then the execution and things like that can level up and you can focus more on that.
How do you process a game that kind of turned the way it did on you guys and having to be a part of that? Obviously, you never want to be a part of that. There's only so much you can do, but how do you kind of process it that the game ended the way it did?
Yeah, it's tough. Just because one, you lost. Two, at one point it was 7-6, and then from there just kind of just got out of hand, and it's tough to be able to feel like you're in position, and then those things happen, and then now you're
leverage call feels like
and try to
is where it all
get out there and
started
that was
to
huge.
get some touchdowns, get the momentum going. So
Then the half before the half,
and win that game, and so
fucking letting up
there's
that
always
touchdown before the
always a
half
shot.
is
It's
fucking
always box at
huge.
0, and things like that. But it
And
makes it
people are
definitely makes it
pointing
tougher. So,
fingers, and the coaches
Matt Eberflus
were
was
together,
afterward,
but they
and
weren't,
do you think
and they
guys
showed
accept-
that they quit in the second half.
yeah, I think we were all receptive.
They
to
don't
it.
use the
I think,
right
there was
personnel. How many players are getting hurt every week?
after
You know what that is, man? Fuck this shit, bro.
Eberflus mainly talked about us staying together. Obviously,
I've never seen
lost
Darnell Wright's out, right? He's
yeah,
hurt.
I mean, it's
Knee,
not much
yep.
to say after. We all
Both
got to be better.
two left tackles
Message
gone.
and he was speaking to coaches himself and us players, and so that was his first message. And then after that,
Montez Sweat has a shin, doesn't play.
We got so much ahead of us.
I mean, come on.
We have so many games left.
You're
right
playing
now,
for this guy,
0-0.
Eberflus.
So
fucking
be in the
ridiculous.
season again, and we got to figure out a way to string together some wins.
But after all the goodwill you guys built up in that 3-game win streak, does it feel like the offense has taken a step back these last 2 weeks?
Yes, Courtney.
I wouldn't say taking a step back.
Well, I would.
We've done. I mean, last week, we did a couple good things. And towards the end of the game, obviously we have to.
Yeah, well, there's 4 quarters,
There's
Caleb.
time, Caleb. I disagree with you.
That's a bullshit answer.
Yeah.
With what happened in the
You've
locker room,
definitely
it's really
taken a
the
step back.
buy-in of the group.
Yeah, I think all the guys are bought in. I mean, I think this is one of the first times that a bunch of guys have come to step up. And I spoke about it earlier this week that the player-led teams are the best teams, and so I think the guys are
Player-led teams.
good, but I think
They're not led by their coach.
I think the guys are bought in. I think the guys want to win.
Mark, Caleb, as resilient as you want to be, in reality, how much did that touchdown at the end of the first half take a little bit of the starch out of you or just this team in general?
Yeah, I think any run before the half or anything like that, any touchdown before the half builds momentum for the other team or for us. However it may go, whoever scores. That's why
But a run like that, Caleb, in a situation like that,
coming out,
that's different.
Super important in winning games, and them being able to go down and score. I think build a lot of momentum for them, and we got to be able to find a way to stop that. But also, when that happens, we got to find a way to be able to muster up the energy and maintain and keep a level head, understanding that we're still in the game.
Oh, he shutting it down.
What the fuck?
We keep going.
This
You didn't say the
corporate
Bears.
Bears.
You didn't say
Corporate
the
Bears.
Bears, by the way. First
He
time.
couldn't have time because he
No,
actually
he-
politely answered the guy's question.
When they don't win, he doesn't say the Bears.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, I've noticed that when they don't
okay.
win, he does not say the
Well,
Bears.
he was answering the guy's question.
Yeah.
He was, yes.
The unfortunate thing is they're going out of their way to do one more and cut someone off. It's
Right.
corporate Bears again. It's Kevin Carlson, $9.99. We're gonna knock these out and then get out of here. If the Bears run more, I feel like they win more. Am I wrong? How many first down under centers do they do play action? Stop that, run more, then the pass becomes easier. Gee,
Preach,
wow.
Kev.
It's like that is the recipe, Kev. I'm just telling you. when you have a young quarterback, you still have all of those other options, but the most important option is to protect them. Run the ball. 2 tight end. Mercedes Lewis is 40 years gone. Gone. You gotta make this simple now.
Phil, you have guys on the practice. Reddy Stewart. You got what's his name? Carlson on the practice squad, tight end, that are fucking sitting there wasting space because you want to go ahead and play. I don't know. Give Mercedes his ride in the sunset. Like, fuck this shit. I'm done with that. Like,
I don't see what he brings to the table.
Go ahead and move him out. Say thank you, sayonara, see you later. Here you go, and go bring up somebody that's going to actually make an effect on this team.
Bears top 10 talent, but bottom 5 in coaching, says Casey.
I think they might be the bottom in coaching.
They are the bottom.
Yeah, I don't think they're
in coaching.
I wouldn't give them the,
I don't even
satisfaction of
say
being
they're
in
bottom. I agree
bottom
with
5.
Shane.
Yeah.
It is so obvious. I have my buddy, he coaches with me. He called. He's like, it's every week the Bears are out coached. Even if they win, the other team is battling because they're out coached in a win. In a win, you're getting out coached. Your players stepped up and you made plays. He's not wrong. Mike Feldner, $5. Do you think it's likely the players that are hurt are actually hurt? Mike, I didn't see your comment, but I said it before. I'm saying how many of these guys are like, fuck this, and bounced. I think it becomes a lot easier. I'm not saying they are.
Yeah.
I'm saying it becomes a lot easier when your head coach is Matt Eberflus for some of these guys. I mean, you got
to look at contracts, and these guys have bonuses when they hit certain clauses and stuff like that. So all of that matters. I'm not ready to go there yet, but like you said, Montez Sweat might say, hey,
Shin, I'm not going in.
I'm at maybe he's at 85%, and maybe
he should have played today. It's disgrace, in my opinion. Yeah. When you said he's out, obviously I had a long day myself, so to see that he's out is just what I thought last week, that this coach is a loser. And then when you have the Jay Glazer report, and I don't know how, but Jay's usually locked in, that Tyreek Stevenson leaves you're having that coach conversation on Monday. You fucking tool bag, Eberflus. Monday morning, I'm bringing you in my office to say, listen, you are going to be benched apparently the first 2 series. Because this is why. I'm the head coach. You represent me. You're over there talking shit to Bears fans or the other team. And it's understood what's going to happen.
Right. And I agree.
On Thursday, I would be pissed.
I agree with that, Phil. But my point is, I don't give a shit if people were saying that he removed himself because he had to collect himself. I remove all of that, because if you need to remove yourself and collect yourself and you're pissed because of what's going on, then your apology is 100% empty. Because in Tyreek's world, the apology was enough, and then that's it.
He expected it.
Shane, hold on. I got to push back. Head coach Monday morning said apology on social media is enough. This is the unveiling of the fucking truth here.
What I said, and I hate to bring up Green Bay, but they get it. Jair Alexander walks out with the captains in where are they playing? Carolina, his hometown. So he walked out there. They said, no, it doesn't fucking work that way. You're suspended the next game. Romeo Doubs bounces from practice. Guess what? You're suspended the next game. Instantly. Boom. Conduct detrimental. You walk
to by the head coach. Communicated clearly.
How do you get the biggest point across to your players? you affect their money. And if you're suspended for conduct detrimental, which that fucking would be to me with what he did last week, and then walking out of practice, yeah, it matters. So the Bears, once again, they're a franchise that's a day or two or week or year too late,
Decades.
like always, in dropping the ball. If I'm the general manager of the team and Phil is the head coach, on the plane on the way home from Washington, I'm going to sit down with Phil, and I said, this is my thoughts of where I want this to go. And I know Phil well enough that he would have agreed no matter what, as good as Tyreek is, and it would have been handled that night on the plane to Tyreek, again in front of the team the very next morning, and again with Tyreek and his management. But the Bears misplay it because they're small-minded. And I had all these people come to my DM and come to my text messaging me. Oh, can't sit him down, guys. We have injuries. That just means you're a shitty franchise because you're
And a
not
shitty coach.
seeing the big picture. Exactly.
100%.
He should have been sat down, and it should have happened on fucking Sunday last week on the fucking plane ride.
The reaction from him, and you guys, or I'm just reinforcing your points because you've knocked it out of the ballpark. He expected that. He expected to start because he knows exactly who he's dealing with.
Culture.
He knows exactly what culture he's in. He knows how Eberflus is going to react. He knew if I go ahead and I get ahead of this, they're going to be like, oh, well, you know what? You showed initiative. You showed enough. He knows that he could get away with this bullshit. That's not fucking good at all. That doesn't help the team. That doesn't help the player. That doesn't help anybody because you're trying to coddle some bullshit that shouldn't be. Phil said it perfectly. He's a shoe salesman. He's a false prophet. He's not the guy that's going to bring you to the promised land, bro. He's just not that dude. It's just not there.
What Shane did, honestly, is what real coaching and organizations do on every level. What he just gave to you is exactly what I would want to go through with my GM. It's what I would do with my coaches.
Where it fucking starts, Phil.
It's exactly.
Ryan
We got to
Poles
have
is
this
not free from
conversation.
blame. He's not.
Yes, he's not. You have the conversation no matter what. You can't make football decisions based on public, opinion. I get that. But sometimes public opinion is your opinion as the coach. It aligns. And you have the wrong people, the corporate bears, fuck it up again. They fucked it up without firing the guy and hiring Harbaugh and making it a priority. There is no cap on a coach. Give Harbaugh whatever the fuck he wanted and understand that he's going to give an identity, which you've never had offensively in the last 15 years. That's the battle. You finally got a franchise talent at quarterback. It's undeniable, guys. What you don't understand is that zero quarterbacks could function with coaching negligence like this on every level. The OC, the O-line coach, wide receiver coach, tight end coach, the head coach. Offensively. Defensively, you understand where they are, right? But the simple process of what transpired in a game you had in your pocket, and oh, by the way, you've had 4 or 5 of them and blew them too, came with a cherry on top, a player playing outside the lines of what you project as your mission statement. That prompts your boss or the GM to sit down with you and say, hey, Coach Phil, I know you love Tyreek, man, and he's a talent that you don't want to get off, and the goal is to win, but this is bigger than winning. This is your culture, and you remind the coach that, like Shane gave you perfectly, and I would be sitting there. I would already have made this decision. I would have fucking called timeout. I would have done different things than this guy, and this isn't backwards thinking. This is what I said on BHL minutes after the fucking loss last week. You can go play it. But the fact of the matter remains, there was zero chance he would be playing this game today with me as the coach. He would be out. And that's where I would hope everybody would respond. It's just as simple as that. We have a fucking shoe salesman as a coach.
I think this needs to be said too. And I know we're talking about removing the head coach. And listen, I think we need to pump the brakes on Ben Johnson is the automatic clear answer, because nobody is he bringing the Detroit offensive line here? Is he bringing there's so many unanswered questions. I think people just look at it. It's like, oh, Detroit's offense is going to be our offense because Ben Johnson is here. Nobody knows that. It's right. You gotta pump the brakes on it. Is he all right? Anybody that believes in Ben Johnson, how is he gonna lead the team on both sides of the ball?
We don't know, right?
We don't know. That's
the most important position.
It is, and everybody's saying that he's the answer.
Is he a leader of men? Is what Shane is asking.
You're not looking at the big picture. You're like, oh shit, Detroit's offense is awesome. We need the offensive coordinator now. All our shit's fixed. We drafted Kevin White, number 7 overall. We got our number 1 for the next 12 years. It's the same philosophy. It just does not work that way. So we got to pump the brakes on that a little bit. It's getting, for me, maybe I could be 100% wrong. Maybe he gets the gig, goes someplace, and he's the best coach ever. I don't know how anybody knows that other than pure fucking shot in the dark and just saying, oh, we're going to be Detroit because their offense is really cool and fun to watch.
Ethan Coates, $5. Heard it. Reported by CHGO. What Shane is talking about. Ben Johnson wanted the head coaching job last year.
The word was that he wanted to see what was going on in Chicago if they were going to launch Flus, because they ended up with the number 1 pick. And when the Bears decided to stay with Matt Eberflus is when
he took his name out of
essentially removed his name from contention for any other jobs, because he didn't want to take a gig and then potentially have the Bears job open up this year, and he's locked into a team someplace else. Now, we'll see how that plays out. And again, what I just said is not an indictment on Ben Johnson. I just don't know how any fan in here knows that he's the cure-all. It's a complete stab in the dark. Most head coaching hires, first-time guys, are that, because none of us are sitting down with them. You know, I'm sure there's just so much that goes into it. You got to get over the expectation that he's going to come here and the Detroit offense is going to be Chicago's.
I totally agree.
We don't have their offensive
Bears.
line. We don't even have anything remotely close. Who on our offensive line would start for Detroit? Nobody. There's not a fucking person.
There's not a backup that would. There's nobody that would. Nobody on
that
this
includes.
It wouldn't be on the team.
That includes our top 10 pick, who has regressed in year 2 overall.
Darnell Wright, he's talking about Kevin Carlson, $9.99. What would you say the Bears' record would be with Harbaugh? I say 6-2. Why? There would be an identity on offense. It would be run first. I honestly agree with Kevin. I just know coaching. It's one thing. Talent in the NFL is immense, right? You just have to find the person that has the fucking plan And the identity comes with that. As I said in my mini rant in the show, it's been 15 or more seasons that the Chicago Bears have had an identity on offense. It's just not there. It shows itself each and every week, and it's almost a cultural being in Chicago that you're going to have the hate and the venom on the offensive coordinator. And it's because they continue to hire shitty head coaches. Even with Lovey, he could not find the offensive coordinator. He went through them all, went on defense, couldn't get an offense together.
Right. And Muck, you're 100% right. You can say that about any first-time coach. I'm talking to the fans of the Chicago Bears, just expecting that he's going to come in here and make us Detroit, because it's not going to turn around. That you have to get the fucking offensive line figured out, and it's complete chaos. And Ryan, hey, we're the best, deepest offensive line I've ever been around. Great. It's fucking paying off, man.
You really look good out there,
awesome.
Ryan Poles. It's an indictment on Poles.
They're alive.
Yeah, we would Tom. We would play taps, but we'd get copyright.
So we get copyright taps.
He wasn't engaged. Jenkins shoved him to the right.
That's what I thought. I've only watched it once, but
I've seen it twice, and I said it's in the stomach. Francisco Del Angel, $4.99. It looks like he gets pushed, and the Swift hits him in the stomach. So I got to look at the rule. I thought it was below the waist if he's engaged.
But yeah,
this guy's trying to pass through, thinking that he's passing off. I don't even think Jenkins' hand is in contact with it. We have to look at it again. Thought it was just enough. I mean, I did not feel like the officials were fucking very good at all today. I told Shane, it's kind of embarrassing when I see this official where the calls go.
Are we still partying next week? Oh, there's always time for a party. That's for damn sure. I mean, that'll take all of our worries away, right? For a few hours at least.
Oh yeah,
a little bit.
But
Steven Selwa, $10. First time super chatting and tipsy enough to do so. Appreciate y'all coverage week in and week out. Can't imagine any fan base suffers at the same level as we do. Fire Flus, Waldron, Morgan. Well, guess what? They're going to fire them all if they fire Flus. So you got it covered with just Flus. Fuck the pack is FTP. That's what he said. Oh, did you delete one?
I think I did. I think I just deleted somebody's by mistake. I'm very, very sorry about that.
Peyton Johnson, $5. What else do they possibly need to see make a change at the coaching position? Should have never been brought back to begin with.
100% right. And that's what we all said here.
All said it here.
Because your dictator of that was being gifted the #1 pick in the draft.
Yep.
You knew you were moving on.
Align it with a new coach.
You brought in Caleb, and the Bears continue. We hire the GM, then we hire the president, then we hire the offensive line coach, then we hire the offensive coordinator. I mean, it's a fucking
Then we move a left tackle to right guard.
Yeah.
Then it's so fucking like a domino falling. It's almost like
I didn't delete it.
I touched one.
Oh,
son of a.
I'm not touching shit. So
yeah, that
not
was
your
us.
fault. It's me.
All right, I'll run them in.
Wait, time to play taps. He wasn't engaged. I'm scrolling down.
All right.
Steven
Well, you address
super
this.
chatting.
I'll go back.
Mr. Dub Swan, the Sam Darnold. This dude is Sam Darnold of coaching. This dude is the Sam Darnold of coaches, seeing ghosts every week. Mr. Cubs, DB Swan, thank you. $4.99. He's talking about Matt Eberflus seeing ghosts. We have 1,400 people in the chat. Smash the like button. Yes, we got there. Now the next one is this.
Yeah,
Steve Per, $4.99. My fiance could be a better coach than Eberflus, and she only knows football through watching the Bears and you guys. I'm just numb to all this losing. $4.99.
Still debatable on your fiance being a good coach, better coach. I've seen her coaching skills.
I have
not that
confidence
great.
in his fiance. I would honestly take his fiance over.
We can make
Matt
her the
Eberflus.
O-line coach. We'll try her out there, right? Before
Run
we hire
game
that,
coordinator.
Before we hire that, we'll make her the O-line coach. Then we'll go hire.
Then
the
we'll
head
hire
coach. The
you,
head coach. Yeah,
we'll hire Mo as the offensive coordinator.
yeah, and he'll trade 4 first-rounders to Seattle for a certain wide receiver.
Jackson Smith and
Jigba. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. Here's the, I'm not touching anything.
There it is.
Took my
Advisable.
little bro. Go ahead.
$4.99. Took my little bro to the game in Arizona, and this was so demoralizing. The team looked so sloppy. It showed that the locker room is lost. Polls step up again, and we understand where Matt Eberflus is in this process. He is not the guy. So now the radar lock, the bullseye, it's got to go to Poles. Poles is not free from this. Is his blueprint. And we have had these conversations behind closed doors at TTNL multiple times. And this is the overriding fear if you're a Bears fan. Let's just say they fire Matt Eberflus and Kevin Warren goes on a fucking bender and he's like, fuck all of this. I want a fresh start with my guys here. I don't think that that's going to happen, but let's just say, who's to say that the best guy for the job isn't on staff in terms of general manager in Ryan Poles' right-hand man, in Ian Cunningham? That might be the guy you keep Ryan Poles around and you lose Cunningham. That's something that I think about quite often.
Yeah, Ian Cunningham's more personable. He seems to be a very good evaluator, more calm than Ryan Poles.
Well, yeah, we got to trade up for Rome. Just calm down. Listen, we've been through this. It's just something that I think we have to look at the big picture, and it's something that you need to take into consideration. Because Ryan Poles, Matt, how many times has he doubled and tripled and quadrupled down on Matt Eberflus being the dude, being the guy?
The same amount of times he's drafted an offensive lineman that is the guy.
Yeah.
Like Lucas Patrick is a prick. I mean, you haven't made it a priority. Last time I checked, you make it a priority when you are knowing they knew they were moving on from Fields. They knew it.
They knew it in season.
In season, they knew it. So they knew they had the first overall pick. So no matter what it was going to be, it was going to be a quarterback, right? Then they knew it was Caleb. Now motherfucker, we got to get an offensive line here, a center. We got to go out there. And they had Nate Davis, Tevin Jenkins. Who did they sign?
Shelton.
Yeah,
traded
Coleman
for
Shelton.
Traded for Ryan Bates.
Ryan Bates, who's been absent like Lucas Patrick. The same fucking pattern.
I mean,
wasn't Ryan Bates dressed today?
No, he's not even active. He's not even.
Oh, he's in the window. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he in Ryan Poles pregame said they might activate him next week from his window or sometime after that. So he didn't even commit to that.
Oh
I
my
think it
God.
all is all going to be dependent because let's not forget that the trade deadline is on Tuesday.
They have.
I don't know what you feel, but that's the fucking
They have
thing.
zero.
Do you want this?
offensive
Do you
line.
want this guy going out and
No.
throwing a premium fucking pick under the circumstances for a complete who is the cure all right now? There's not one.
No, they don't. They don't have one. They have to get somebody in there. I mean,
They need 5 at the offensive line. They need 5 cure-alls. That's what would be there as a cohesive offensive line.
But as it is constructed right now,
Chris Morgan is a common denominator.
They're not going to move off of Darnell Wright yet. Obviously, year 2. To me, overall, he's had moments of dominance, but overall, you want to see the arrow pointing way up in year 2.
I'm just saying, offensively.
But beyond that, Phil, beyond that, you go everybody to the left, every single fucking position to the left of Darnell Wright might not be here.
Right.
Or can be replaced. And that
Nate
was
Davis is gone.
Are you re-signing?
Pryor sucked today again.
Horrible.
He's been very bad. Coleman Shelton is athletically overmatched.
Back up at best.
On
a good team, yeah.
Tevin Jenkins is a albatross of a player. He's often injured, very talented, but doesn't have the right coaching, I'll say. Like today of all days should have been him at left tackle. Again, you just have the wrong but anyway, he's not going to be here, right? They might make him a priority signing. I honestly don't know. And then Braxton Jones is average to below left tackle. Larry Borum off of IR, whatever. How many weeks was he out? All of them.
Yeah, I mean, he
comes in and
awful.
He's terrible. So what does your offensive coordinator do? He throws the ball 21 times in the first half. Like, on the day you should be running and actioning off of it, you don't do it. That's negligence. And on the head coach, the game plan, you knew what you were doing, let alone the conversation about the defense, what transpired last week, and the suspension of Tyreek Stevenson, the walkout. Matt Eberflus has lost the locker room. I'm telling you 100%. I'm accurate. I saw quit in the Kool-Aid. They quit. All of his other shit is word salad, minutia of bullshit. The tape doesn't lie. They quit on you, coach. And that's why Shane is saying Ryan Poles has to own this. I don't give a fuck what Corey Wooten comes out and says, or the other guy, Clay Harbor, or any of these other guys. I'm just telling you right now, directly, fucking right on Matt Eberflus, right on Ryan Poles. This is not okay. Ryan Poles, I don't know. Maybe Shane's right. He's probably going to get another shot at a coach.
Oh, I think he is. I don't think.
But you can't just wait on the inevitable.
No. I understand it, Phil.
What Flus talked about last week on Cap was embarrassing.
Let's be honest.
Yep.
I when I was speaking on that, about Ryan Poles, do you have any fucking confidence Kevin Warren's gonna make the right decision? Because I fucking don't. I know Ivan doesn't. That's but honestly, I don't have any faith in that.
It's
right now the Chicago Bears offensive line. Caleb Williams is on course to be sacked 62 times, which would be the 6th most in NFL history.
And
rookie quarterback.
And their game plan was completely helping that cause.
Yeah. And
remember that point, it's 7-6.
Yeah.
They throw the ball 3 times at the 11. They don't run the ball. They don't have an identity. You're the head coach. You got to demand it. This is the first time I've saw them run a counter. They ran a counter one time this week. They got 5 yards. Swift got in there. Then where did it go? Why don't you action off the counter? Waggle out of there. Nope. We went right into empty. The very next play went 4 or 5 yards on counter on first down. Like, oh shit, they ran a counter. Next play, empty. That's not identity. That's guessing. Me and Olin Kreutz were talking about this with the last guy. We're talking about it again with this guy. Let's just throw up shit on the wall and see what sticks every series.
Yeah.
Every fucking series, guys. There's teams that go out. Oh, here's where they're going to fucking run action off of it.
You know what? Let's trick them. Let's go QB draw.
QB
2 downs in a row.
Twice. Twice. Oh my God. And you're the trick or treaters that get the tight end fucking reverse right in your ass. Just stiff arm dragging you.
Funkster Jones, Phil, Shane Ivan, they got to let the flus loose. You can't see the light because he's always been in the dark in coaching.
100%.
You're not wrong. Gerald Smith, GMAC is a silent Jerry Jones. $1.99.
George McCaskey, he's talking about.
Yeah.
100% right, GMAC. George McCaskey needs to grow a set.
We were all,
Bond.
I know all 3 of us here on screen right now would have been just as happy with Harbaugh at head coach as we were with Caleb Williams being the number 1 pick in the draft. To this
100%. I would have celebrated. The coach is more important at this time. It's the biggest free agent you can have.
Yeah. Melvin Dew, $9.99. Vrabel would be perfect for this team. He did great things with the bad quarterback in Tannehill. He also had the Titans D playing great. No Flores, though, because the more that comes out about that Tua, it's bad. Yeah, and I think you're going to see Vrabel end up being the next head coach right where he is right now. Because I think Stefanski's going to be the fall guy, and I think that's going to be a guy that's going to end up being in.
Is that where Vrabel is?
Yes, he's on the staff
in
there.
Cincinnati?
No, he's in Cleveland.
Cleveland?
I think Stefanski's going to end up being the fall guy, and he wants to get out of that. And I think
he's a good coach.
That's going to be a guy that's going to be in big time consideration in Chicago if they launch Flus.
I like Stefanski. I think he's a very good coach, but that's a whole nother story. So is G-Man is a silent Jerry Jones?
Yeah.
No, Jerry Jones is at least maniacal enough to recognize that he's got to do something. I don't know.
Maniacal and senile enough.
Senile?
Yeah.
Senile.
Yeah, he might have just made a whole new fucking word there, Phil. Get on that one, Acevedo. Senile. Chicago.
Senile.
They're senile. Yeah.
Shania Twain and George McCaskey. George McCaskey is just a fan. He's not a football evaluator. This coming from the guy whose grandfather was the originator of the NFL. Was so in love with the sport of football that nothing else took a back seat to it. So there's a problem there. You're not in the same phrase or functioning of your great grandfather because you don't see how important it is to have the right guy at head coach.
Yeah, I don't agree with Troy here. I more so on Brisker. I just listen, his concussion every year in the league, and I mean you're over a month now at this point with him not clearing concussion protocol. So do I see a long career here in Chicago for Jaquan Brisker where he's going to have an extended contract? No, but I am not ready to move on from Kyler Gordon. I mean, you're talking about a
Hell
hamstring
no. He
issue.
was the best
Hasn't
fucking.
been, yeah.
He got tackled on a play. He hurt his hamstring.
Yeah.
Guys
There
on
hasn't
top
been
of him.
There hasn't been anything major with Kyler.
He was
There's
the
been some
best nickel in the league, in my
broken
opinion.
bones. The thing with Jaquan Brisker, he was playing better, but man, like you said, these concussions, and I mean, he was out a long time last year.
I can't believe he played in the game. He's still out.
Hasn't even cleared protocol yet.
What former player, DG? That's what I want to know. And where can we listen to this? Because I'd like to hear which player and what they said. Kyler Gordon stays. Brisker, I loved Brisker.
Yeah.
But yeah, the head injuries, obviously, it's a business. You got to have players that are going to be out there. So I get that.
I mean, maybe she pissed
Where's
herself. I
Larison?
mean, she's how
Did
old? at this
Larison
point?
answer this one?
Yeah, well, we know what his answer is going to be, but
we need him to answer this one.
I'm sure she wants to win, but we know where this all starts, guys. It's just Phil has preached it for years and years and years. You have to overturn every rock, and nothing is ever good enough. And with the Bears, they just don't live in that world. That's why when you have an imaginary stadium up in the fucking clouds, you're talking about high top seats for a stadium that's not even fucking built yet, or even remotely close to being agreed upon and where it's going to be built. You know, you're putting the hot tub in the penthouse when you haven't even bought the fucking shovel to put in the dirt yet. That's the Bears.
Fucking Ivan is chewing those fucking chili spice Fritos.
Those are
Oh shit! I
tacks.
thought I was on mute. Damn.
Those are tacks. He's getting fucking ready, bro.
Is
Dude,
that
I'm fucking
ice?
starving right now. We're like talking. I'm like hungry as shit. Sorry, I thought I was on mute.
Zaire Franklin on a podcast called The Trenches. So I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Zaire played for him and was a decent
Syracuse.
football player. Yeah. So it'll be, I want to hear what he has to say because listen, I can say that a few players knew about Eberflus and were disappointed when he was hired by the Bears. I, like Shane, am willing to give the benefit of the doubt. He wasn't my choice. And then obviously all of us wanted Jim Harbaugh, and Jim Harbaugh would come in and and that's the difference, man. At the end of the day, it's the difference. You got to hire coaches that have been head coaches that come, okay, what's your identity? Like, don't give me your fucking acronyms. I want to know what your identity is.
So do you want I have the quotes from Zaire Franklin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to share them and put them up on the screen, but I'll read them.
Go ahead. Zaire Franklin. Thank you, DG Daniels.
Colts linebacker Zaire Franklin had a contentious relationship with Eberflus during their time together. On his Trenches podcast, he made it clear his opinion of the Bears head coach is very low. Franklin accused him of underhanded tactics, always sabotaging him when the linebacker made headway on the roster. Franklin said, and I quote, "I told him, I said, when I lost, I lost. I done lost before, bro. My issue came when I won," Franklin said. "When I won, you ain't give me my victory. you always stepped on it. You always did something slick. You always went out of your way to make sure I didn't shine the way that I knew I could because you knew who I was. That's where my issues came, me and him, one-on-one. I told him that. I really didn't understand how really pissed off I was about that shit, Franklin said. Every single time, every single chance he got, bro, he pushed me back to the bottom, bro. Every time I was climbing up, he would pull the ladder, bro. Every time I had a rope, he'd cut the line. I had to start all over. So before you comment on that, just I'll have to listen to it and get kind of the context. But to me, that's a lot of me, and I want to be put on a fucking pedestal and I want the spotlight on me. Just reading that initially.
Right. But there is a point that I think he's trying to showcase, a personal one, where a coach who pretends to be about the players had an issue, as said, personal one. And listen, the goal of any coach should be the growth of the player, right? And that's all he's ever portrayed that was important here. You know, I talked to the kids today after we lost. You know, you are a running back now. You might be a lineman in high school. You might be a quarterback or a tight end, wherever you are. Now, you could change. You decide the story. But I know one thing. I taught these kids the game of football and how to win and how to do it with class and technique and pride. Some days you're just going to get overwhelmed by another team with more talent. Just happens. The goal should never be to cut someone's line. Like, I've seen it. And it's unfortunate. Matt Eberflus, to me, at the end of the day, I'll listen to this podcast and I thank DG to share it. But like you said, Shane, it's a personal one. Guy didn't like Eberflus. I know a lot of guys that don't like him. I'm one of those guys. So
right. I'm just saying
I'm sure there's other stories.
Sure. Yeah.
Of players that Matt has rubbed the wrong way. Again, Matt had never been a head coach before.
Right. And he'd been in the league
on any level.
Yeah.
On any level.
Yeah.
Has he ever been a head coach before? There's a learning curve. Matt Nagy had never been a head coach before. He didn't even call the plays in the fucking Chiefs games. It was Andy Reid doing it.
Right.
And in fact, the one game he gave them was their worst game, but yet he was the priority hire. Again, a lot of the names that get leaked out there by these insiders are the names that the agents of the coaches, the assistant coaches, want to be leaked out there as a hot candidate and a hot coach and what have you. I need a coach that's been a head coach on any level before. That's the prerequisite. You can't just hire these fucking guys that are good coordinators. It's not the job of a head coach. It's a parcel of it. It's a piece. It's disgusting.
Yeah, thanks, Dante. We're cowards, bro. Thanks. But
he's back.
Showing up. Yeah, that's fine.
He's back.
And your truck looks like a piece of shit. You pussy. So
Hey,
there you
it's a
go.
nice truck.
I think it looks fucking lame.
Red truck.
But whatever. Yeah. Thanks, Dante.
It ain't in the quarterback, Dante. Stop.
Dante, you want
Dante,
you want to come on and prove your point?
Oh, here we go.
He's never wanted to come on.
Right.
Oh, next week, Dante, you come on the show, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks, Bricks. Now we can go. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. We're cowards, man. Yeah, thanks, Dante.
Yeah, all right.
Yep. Performance over politics doesn't resonate with the Bears. It didn't with Pace, didn't with polls. so far, or hasn't with Poles. I just don't understand Dominic Robinson starting today.
Yeah, me.
Think about that. Now I get the necessity for
sure
for the other guy, Larry Borum, because you're so banged up,
stripped down, right? But
Don, no, you start number 55, and you start somebody else. 52 and 55 started.
To Dominic Robinson's credit, he probably had one of the best plays of his career early on.
He came down and
on the run play, yeah. But
He came down and made a play, but still, it's again not a level of accountability. It's not a level of taking the performance aspect of it. A guy that has been a healthy and scratch each and every week. If he was so starter, why isn't he on the starting rotation to begin with? That's the kind of shit that makes zero sense. That's the kind of shit that makes zero sense. And that's where I'll keep it there. Now, there are exceptions to my no head coach rule, so I'll just clarify it for TTS Cam. Kyle Shanahan is an exception, and he was a head coach before the Niners. Wasn't he a head coach? No, he never was a head coach before. He had called plays, and his father.
He was the OC for the Falcons,
right?
correct?
His father had been a head coach for years. So that kind of helps in the process of the interview of what you're going to get. It might not be okay for you, but for me, I think his dad is a top 5 coach all time, Mike. And when you interview somebody and their father's been a well-known head coach, like if Nick Saban had a son who had been coaching in the league and I'm going to interview him, I'm going to know, okay, this is where you've been taught and this is what you're going to do when he's preaching it back to me. And I like that. Then you're a proven play caller. Because nobody's a bigger fan of Kyle than me. Like, I believe in Kyle Shanahan as a head coach. He's prepared. He's going to do everything in his power to win games, and he's going to come with a plan. If he has young Caleb Williams, is he going to be in good hand? Absolutely. He's going to protect his quarterback. It's no different than what Quinn is doing in Washington. You see this bullshit? Let's go empty. It's fucking ridiculous. And no, I haven't had a drink at all. I'm just exhausted, Ben. Thoughts on Caleb Williams and Rome connection this game?
It hasn't been well, yeah. I mean, it was a nice pass, but I don't know. He's lucky he was wide open. That's all I'm gonna fucking say, because that would have been picked off if he wasn't.
Yep.
Cliff Kingsbury was not hired because he was a threat to Matt Eberflus. This is straight from knowledge-based insider information. So you're holding your team back for fear that the replacement for you, if you fail, is already on the roster. Well, for me, it's an epic failure for what Shane said in polls. Because what you do as the GM is get the best coach in the building for your young quarterback. And if that meant that, I could tell you right now, Cliff Kingsbury wanted zero to do with Chris Morgan. That is also straight from Kingsbury's mouth. So
But Morgan's a nice guy, Phil. He's a nice guy.
Again, it goes back to the McCaskies and this weak bullshit. Like, no, I don't want that guy. He's not a good coach. He doesn't fit with what I want to do. So you don't take it. And you have the threat of Kingsbury taking over for Eberflus. He didn't want it. It's just sad. Sad. But anyway,
Yes, it is.
And there, let's get out of here. Went
There you go.
14 minutes longer than I ever wanted to go. I do love you, fans.
We love these guys.
Oh yeah.
These guys.
Tomorrow night.
Big Steve's gonna throw down.
Oh.
I'm sure he's gonna have some things to say about this shit.
Well, Ivan was practically pouring the bourbon down his throat today to make him feel better. So
to take over the North and never give it back.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
What? This guy will be back next week.
Maybe we'll see.
Oh, you gotta bring him on.
Yeah, when we end the show, Phil, don't bounce out of the green room real quick because Ivan does not believe everything about our phone call that we had the other day.
I do not.
Anything Shane said is true. There they are, the two shoes.
Yeah.
I know Shoe and Shoe knows me. I know Shoe and Shoe knows me. It's a sob story. That's where we are here. We appreciate you guys. For the man, the smartest man, and the super producer, I'm your guy, Draft Dr. Phil, and fuck these coaches.
Thank you for watching Bears Hour Live, the best post-Bears game show on the planet.
Ryan and Matt are men of character. They are both, like Ted, outstanding leaders. I've been